I'll Google
Last
that.
week on Sailing Maui. I don't want you to get wet. You'll get too cold. Here she blows. Where that yacht is, that's going to be our spot. Neither of us believe in just tiptoeing through life. We've taken the plunge, sold our house, sold our bus, and bought a catamaran. This is Phil. I'm Marie. And meet Olive, our 12-year-old black lab. We promise to keep you entertained along the way, and it would be amazing if you could join us on our journey, sailing MANUNU. We're learning how to use two-way video. It's amazing how people let their dinghies fill up full of water. The dingies. I'm going to stop that laughing because I usually have to edit it out. Beautiful, beautiful day in Nelson as always.
Oh.
That little dinghy there's been deflating. Yeah, she just has to go in. There's no boats putting in at the moment, so you're getting your feet wet. Is that good? Is it cold? Oh, it must be cold. She's not getting in. Oh, we've got the two-way vid going.
What you doing, Olive?
It must be quite cold. She hasn't like fully submerged.
Oh. Oh. Really?
He's a blackback gull. He's pretty.
They are beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he ate it. Yeah.
He's too buoyant. He can't get under. I think he's sticking up near.
Blackback gull, or blackback, is one of the most abundant and familiar large birds in New Zealand. Although many people do not realise that the mottled brown juveniles, mistakenly called mollyhawks, are the same species as the adults. Found on or over all non-forested habitats, from coastal waters to high country farms, this is the only large gull found in New Zealand. They are particularly abundant at landfills, around ports, and at fish processing plants. Known widely as the kelp gull in other countries, the same species is also common in similar latitudes around the southern hemisphere, including southern Australia, South America, southern Africa, and most sub-Antarctic and peri-Antarctic islands, and the Antarctic Peninsula. Hey everybody out in YouTube land. This is just a quick catch-up because we are in our phase of waiting for MANUNU to arrive, which means we have several different options to explore. The first option being having a skipper and two crew sail over and, not sail over, well possibly sail over, we're not sure yet, fly into Tahiti and then sail MANUNU back, which means because they'll be at sea more than 14 days, re-entry back into New Zealand as New Zealanders will be fine because that will be counted as their quarantine time. So that is the option we ran with when we signed on the dotted line on the purchase contract for MANUNU. However, COVID changes things a little bit, and the new Tahitian entry restrictions require you to have a COVID vaccination, and we're kind of a little bit behind in New Zealand rolling those out. So we can't really get the skipper there until he gets his vaccine, which could be another month or 2 or 3. We're not sure. So we qualify. Our skipper doesn't. He's a young, fit sailor, so he is in the group 4 rollout. However, Phil and I do qualify because we both have underlying conditions, and means we qualify to get the vaccination, which we do next week. So therefore, with special entry, we can apply to fly into Tahiti without having to be in quarantine. I think we still need to do like a COVID test, one before we leave the country, one when we arrive, which is fine. A little bit uncomfortable, but that's fine. And then the plan would be that we would stay there for 4 to 6 weeks. Possibly we may get one of the chaps from Tahiti Yacht Charters, he's a skipper, Bertrand, to maybe take us out for a weekend, just so we can get used to her. Maybe sail over to Bora Bora, have a really nice time, just sort of getting used to her, making sure she has everything on board for her passage back to New Zealand, which takes about 15 plus days. And then, once we've done that, hopefully by that stage, with timing, we're going to be able to fly our skipper in, and then we can make passage back to New Zealand. So there'll be the 3 of us on board, which is, yep, a little bit daunting, but it's like what Colin says off Parlay Revival. He's a New Zealander. You'll regret the things you haven't done in 20 years. So why wait? And I mean, in all seriousness, I don't even know whether I'm going to be alive in 20 years. So I think we just need to, we need to go for it. Yeah, I'm 100% there at the moment. Phil's about 70% there. So yeah, let's just wait and see. Okay, so that's the plan. That's where we're at the moment. We're waiting to make a decision. Obviously, I've got some really good footage, some content that we can just keep making little episodes up, so you can watch where we're at with that. And one of the episodes, I've started buying all the stuff. We are getting Olive used to the marina down at Nelson Marina, which is where we're going to have MANUNU birthed. It's a beautiful marina. It's really sheltered. We've got a really good berth. We're able to take that berth when we arrive back from Tahiti and live on her for 3 months as a visitor, and then we will transfer over to permanent berth holder, hopefully. That's where we're at. We really appreciate you watching. We're only just really new to YouTube, so we're really excited about it. Click on the subscribe button. Follow our journey. We appreciate watching people on YouTube that are real as opposed to staged. So yeah, hopefully we can provide you with some laughs along the way. I hope we do. Anyway, so that's pretty much where we're at. I'll see if I can pin Phil down, and we'll sit down and do a little bit of an interview together, and we'll see where he's at with the whole process. So we bought MANUNU off Tahiti Yacht Charters, and they have been absolutely brilliant to deal with, right from the very beginning, with the initial contact to FaceTime contact to walkthrough on MANUNU, to speaking with the skipper Bertrand, to dealing with Segaline, who is the director of Tahiti Yacht Charter, to having the contracts sorted, the survey done, and then signing. They've been really helpful. We're also having some work done on her in Tahiti. She's sitting at Raiatea Marina, which is where Tahiti Yacht Charters boats are kept, in Apuiti, I think it's called. And we've had some work done on her, which some new, obviously taking all the yellow off her, which is I haven't got much to work with. Taking all the yellow off her, because that's the fleet colours, the yacht charter colours. So we're having all the yellow removed, including the yellow stripes along the sides, having her renamed because we've deregistered her and we're registering her as a New Zealand boat, and paying all the import taxes, which is a bit daunting, but that's worth it. And we are getting, a new sail bag and a new bimini cover made, etc. So we'll be able to keep you updated with that as that happens. Yeah, so that's where we are up to. Very exciting. Hopefully by August, September, stage 4 COVID vaccinations will be available. Oh, there's my phone. It's my daughter. Hello. Hi. Morning. I'm just sitting here doing a wee update video for YouTube. So say hi to everyone. I haven't got you on speaker. Sorry about that. It was my daughter on the phone. She's not very well and she's just moved into her new home. So that's pretty much where we are up to date at the moment. I'll get Phil to... I'm just talking to YouTube, Becky. I have to get used to talking to a dot on the... I have to get used to looking to the dot. You know? Yeah. As opposed to looking at my face. Yeah. Just updating. I'll get Phil to sit down later and give you his update and we'll see how it varies. Have a good day.
3, 2, 1, go. Here we are. So Ree's been doing a bit of filming. So it's my turn to do a bit of filming from New Zealand. Bit of a wet day today, and so she's filled you up in where we're up to, looking at some different options, possibly getting ourselves up to Tahiti and spending a bit of time up there. Bottom line is we'll probably never get MANUNU back over that far. Fiji, maybe to Tonga, but probably never that extra jump. So it is an opportunity from that perspective. Well, it's a couple of issues. One is that we run a business here, but there's possibly a gap in the traffic coming. We can make a gap in the traffic for a couple of months. For me, anyway. Keep our son working. That'll be good. The boat is, MANUNU is although we've got her pretty much prepared for a trip back to New Zealand. She is pretty bare bones. So at the moment we're looking at the possibility of getting a crate sent up to Tahiti by sea. Before we went there, if we go, we need to, the working backwards, we really want to have her here by the beginning of our summer, which is pretty much the end of the Pacific sailing season, which is May through to November, which is supposedly out of the cyclone season, because of course you can't get blue water insurance after that because you go into the cyclone season, whether there be cyclones or not. So ideally, working backwards, we want to hear by November either way. Otherwise, it does start getting a bit laborious. We have to wait another, to this time next year again. I think we can get around that. As I said, the Tahitian border's not open yet, but there are some exemptions, and Rhea and I can probably get are having our COVID jabs next week, our first one. So by that time, we would have a high percentage immunity, and we'll probably be allowed entry. And get there and probably spend, if we can get a crate with some gear up there, to better provision the boat with some spares and some personal stuff and some comfort stuff, tools. We could spend 4 to 6 weeks cruising around Tahiti before we then decide to make the jump back to New Zealand, which would then probably just get a single skipper up there, but it has to be a Kiwi, because only a Kiwi can come back in. So yeah, just going through the process of that, and as you can imagine, it's not that simple. It's straightforward. It's you know, a lot of the skippers and the delivery people, you know, they've got an awkward time at the moment because, of course, like a lot of people in the hospitality and the leisure industry, those things have stopped because of COVID. You know, New Zealand has effectively had its borders closed except for the Australian border lately. So, you know, people really struggle to get here unless you're a New Zealand citizen. And, of course, what that then means is all the crews that were about and were relocating boats have been relocating boats around the country, but most of them most of the crew have got other jobs now because they can't sit around waiting to do nothing. Oh, excuse me, this is my video reply. Not yours, you've done yours. So, yeah, we're looking at those options, and possibly sometime in August through till the end of October, thinking that we've got a 20-day passage from Tahiti to New Zealand, plus another 4 or 5 days to get from the top of the North Island where you come in, down to Nelson, which is about halfway down the country. So there's another 4 or 5 day passage on top of that.
Crikey, we'd provide good footage doing that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, so the plan is to have it here by November, looking seriously at Plan B. There'll probably be a Plan C, a Plan D and a Plan E as well, but anyhow.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. It's certainly got into the starts of winter here, which is, you see all these cruisers that come down who have been in the tropics for, 12 months or more, and they come down to New Zealand and it's so cold. Well, you really? There's no such thing as bad weather, only inadequate clothing, according to a very close friend of mine. Yep. We're really lucky here, though, I must say. It's compared to the rest of the world, we're quite insulated from the pandemic, but of course are affected by the fallout. From all of those countries that are still. Oh, excuse me, you're cleaning in the background. Go on, clean off. Go and make the bed. Go and make the bed.